Good morning to my dear students. Welcome back to your science class. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 10, soil. So without wasting time, let's start. What is soil? Soil is a covering over the surface of the land. Soil is important to us for many reasons, like plants need soil to grow and to make their food. We all depend on soil for food. Cotton comes from the cotton plants that grow in soil. Wool comes from sheep that eat grass that grows in soil. So directly or indirectly, we all depend on soil. Now let's learn composition of soil. Composition of soil. Soil is made up of two main components. First are the mineral particles which come from the larger rocks and include salts of iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, etc. And the second component is humus, which is dark brown in color and consists of decaying remains of plants and animals. Now, how humus is formed? When small plants such as lichens, ferns, etc., grow in the small pieces of rocks, and when they die, they mix with the soil to form humus. Here comes the pie chart of composition of soil, which includes the mineral matter, the organic matter, which is humus, and also air and water. Air and water are needed for soil organisms to survive and for dead and decaying matter to be converted to humus. That's why air and water are also the part of soil. Living organisms like millipedes, centipedes, ants, bacteria, earthworms, etc. are also the part of soil. Especially the earthworm benefits the soil in many ways, which are as follows. They improve the texture of soil, they loosen the soil, thus allowing the air to enter and water to drain from it. They also form channels in the soil for roots to penetrate deeply. That's why earthworms are considered as farmers' friends. Our next topic is soil formation. Soil was not present on earth at the time of its formation. जब अर्थ बनी उस टाइम पे सॉइल प्रेजेंट नहीं थी. द ग्राउंड वॉज मोस्टली द सॉलिड रॉक. ओवर million of years, the rock got partially changed into the soil by the process of weathering. So now what is weathering? Weathering is the breakdown of huge rock into smaller pieces. बड़ी बड़ी rocks का छोटे छोटे pieces में convert होना by the action of natural forces like water, wind, roots of plant, etc. is known as weathering. The role of water in weathering of rocks. First of all, the water collects in a crack of the rock. सबसे पहले water rock के cracks में collect हो जाता है. Then in winter it freezes, due to which expansion takes place and the cracks widen. Further, the ice melts and water seeps deeper into the crack. And this repeated freezing and melting causes the rock to break down. Further, the broken pieces roll down by the force of flowing water or wind. फिर वो आगे जाकर आपस में एक दूसरे से टकराते हैं या ग्राउंड के साथ कोलाइड करते हैं तो फर्दर ब्रेकडाउन टेक्स प्लेस. Finally, they get converted into very fine particles and mixes with humus to form soil. Role of trees in the formation of soil. First of all, seeds get collected in the cracks and develop themselves into plants. Further, when the plants become trees, they exert pressure on the rocks. This causes cracks in the rocks, which leads to withering. The third and the last one is the temperature changes. In the daytime, rocks expand due to heating, and at the night time, rocks contract due to cooling. This constant expansion and contraction weakens the rocks and causes cracks in them. So this is the sum up of weathering by which formation of soil takes place. Our next topic is soil profile. Before starting it, first tell me that have you ever noticed that soil changes colors as one goes deeper, and also the bits of rocks also changes their size. So the main layers of the soil are topsoil, subsoil and the parent rock. So let's start first with the topsoil, which is also known as a horizon. It mainly consists of humus and the smallest particle of rocks. Because humus is present here, it gives dark color to the soil and makes the layer porous and fertile. The second is subsoil. It is also known as B horizon. This layer is present below the topsoil and it does not contain much humus. That's why it is lighter in color. It is made up of mostly of rock bits and some nutrients. Rainwater collects in this layer. The third one is the parent rock. It is also known as C horizon and it is present below the subsoil. It contains small pieces of rocks with cracks. Below this is a solid rock known as bedrock, which is non-porous. Rainwater gathers over it to form the water table. Types of soil. Topsoil has bits of rocks and humus in it, but all the topsoils are not same. Topsoils from different places have different colors and rock particles of different sizes. The difference in color and size occurs because the soil come from different kinds of rocks and अलग अलग रॉक्स में अलग अलग तरह के मिनरल्स पाए जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो सॉइल का कलर है वो अलग होता है. Also, some kinds of rocks break into very small particles, whereas other break into larger particles. So, generally, three main kinds of rock particles can be found in topsoil and they all look and feel different. They are as follows. First is the clay. Clay has the smallest size particle and we cannot see a single clay particle. Clay particles are very smooth to touch because उनके particles का size बहुत छोटा होता है and उनके बीच में air gaps भी बहुत कम होते हैं, इसलिए पानी आसानी से drain नहीं होता है. Second are the silt particles. These are the medium size particles. Clay से थोड़े से बड़े होते हैं and they are not so smooth also. इनके बीच में air gaps medium होते हैं and water slowly drain करता है. Third are the sand particles, which are the largest sized particles. इनके बीच में air gaps बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, इसलिए water बहुत आसानी से drain कर जाता है and also they are coarse to touch. Now we'll talk about the diameter of soil particles. First is the clay. The diameter of clay particles is less than 0.002 mm and the space between the particles is very less. Second are the silt particles. The diameter of silt particles vary between 0.002 mm and 0.2 mm. The space between the silt particles is medium. And the third one are the sand particles. The diameter of sand particles is greater than 0.2 mm and they have large spaces between them. Now classifying the soil into three types depending on the type of soil particles present in them. So the first is the sandy soil. Sandy soil has a lot of sand in it and very little silt and clay. It is generally found in deserts. Because इस तरह के soil में sand बहुत ज़्यादा है, so you know that sand के particles बहुत बड़े होते हैं and उनके बीच में space भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. That's why it can hold air but cannot hold water, as water drains very quickly through the sand particles. The second is clay soil. It contains mostly clay and you know that clay के particles बहुत छोटे होते हैं, tightly packed होते हैं और उनके बीच में space भी बहुत कम होती है. That's why this type of soil is not able to trap enough air for the roots of plants, and moreover water also drains very slowly through the clay soil. So which soil is suitable for plants? सैंडी सॉइल के अंदर वाटर बहुत जल्दी ड्रेन हो जाता है. क्ले सॉइल के अंदर वाटर बहुत धीरे ड्रेन होता है. ऑल्सो क्ले सॉइल के अंदर एयर भी नहीं होती. सो द बेस्ट टॉप सॉइल फॉर ग्रोइंग प्लांट्स इज लोम, क्योंकि लोम इज अ मिक्सचर ऑफ सैंड, सिल्ट एंड क्ले एंड ऑल्सो ह्यूमस इज प्रेजेंट इन इट. एंड ये सारे जो होते हैं वो बिल्कुल बैलेंस अमाउंट में प्रेजेंट होते हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ द बैलेंस अमाउंट, it has a right water holding capacity for the plant. It also has adequate space between the soil particles to trap air required by the roots of plants. Properties of soil. The first property of soil is the percolation rate. Let us understand it with the help of an example. If you spill water on the cement floor of your house, it stays there for a long time. However, if you spill water on the ground outside the house, it quickly gets absorbed in the soil. This is because water can percolate into the soil but not into the cement. So what is percolation rate? Percolation rate is the time taken by the water to flow from the top of the soil to the bottom of the soil. This is also known as drainage rate. Now rate of percolation can be calculated by applying the formula, which is amount of water in ml divided by percolation time in minute. For example, suppose that for a certain sample it took 20 minutes for 200 ml to percolate. So just placing the values in the formula, 200 ml divided by 20 minutes is equal to 10 ml per minute. It means per minute 10 ml had been percolated. What is water table? The natural level of groundwater in which the rainwater percolates through the soil and collects above the bedrock is known as water table. एक ऐसा नेचुरल लेवल ग्राउंड वाटर का जिसमें रेन वाटर सॉइल से परकुलेट होकर बेड रॉक के ऊपर कलेक्ट हो जाता है, उसे हम कहते हैं वाटर टेबल. Soil moisture. It means the amount of water present in the soil. So by performing a simple activity, हम ये पता लगा सकते हैं कि सॉइल में मॉइस्चर है या नहीं. For this, take a boiling tube and fill it about 1/4 with the soil sample. Heat it gently on a flame. You will notice drops of water, and this shows that soil contains water. Absorption of water by the soil. You know, different kind of soil absorbs different amount of water. So let's see absorption of water by the soil. For this, हमें क्या चाहिए? हमें एक फनल लेना है. फनल के ऊपर फिल्टर पेपर को फोल्ड करके सेट कर देना है. Then we have to weight 50 gram of dry powdered soil and put the soil on the filter paper which is in the funnel. उसके बाद 100 ml का एक मेजरिंग सिलेंडर लेना है एंड उसमें 100 ml वाटर लेना है. स्प्रेड द वाटर over the entire surface of the sample and continue pouring until the water start dripping from the funnel. आपको पानी उसमें तब तक डालना है जब तक फनल के नीचे से वाटर ड्रिप करना स्टार्ट ना कर दे. Now measure the quantity of water left in the measuring cylinder. Suppose it is 60 ml. So starting में हमने 100 ml लिया था जिसमें से 60 ml हमारा बच गया है. So 40 ml is the amount of water absorbed by the soil. Also you will find that sandy soil absorbs less water and allow more water to percolate क्योंकि sandy soil के particles का size बड़ा होता है इसलिए वो water को drain होने देते हैं, but clay soil absorbs more water and allow less water to percolate, क्योंकि क्ले सॉइल के अंदर पार्टिकल्स का साइज बहुत छोटा होता है, इसलिए वो वाटर को आसानी से ड्रेन नहीं होने देते. वाटर लॉगिंग. In areas where there is a lot of clay in the soil, stagnant water collects above the soil whenever it rains. This is known as waterlogging. जिन एरियाज़ के अंदर सॉइल में क्ले की अमाउंट बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, सो वहाँ पे पानी खड़ा हो जाता है जब भी बारिश होती है. सो इस कंडीशन को हम वाटर लॉगिंग कहते हैं. और ऐसा इसलिए होता है क्योंकि क्ले के पार्टिकल्स बहुत छोटे होते हैं एंड वो वाटर को ड्रेन नहीं होने देते. Waterlogged soil cannot hold air for roots to breathe and plants cannot grow well in it. Soil and crops. Different types of soil are found in different places. The type of soil and the climatic factors of a place determine the plants that can grow well there and hence the kinds of crops that can be best grown in the region. For example, clay and loamy soils are suitable for growing wheat and gram. Paddy requires soil rich in clay and organic matter. For pulses, loamy soil are the best, and for cotton, sandy loam soil is the best because it can hold air but water can drain through it easily. Soil as a natural resource is useful to us in many ways. Like, first one is we depend on the soil for food, clothing and shelter. Second, we depend on the soil for minerals such as iron, gold, silver. Minerals such as coal and petroleum obtained from the soil provide us with fuel and many other useful things. Also, we depend on the soil for clay, which is used as a raw material to make bricks, tiles, etc. And moreover, we depend on the soil for water, which is stored as underground subsoil water and it can be used for drinking and other purposes. This is sum up of importance of soil as natural resource. I hope all the concepts of this chapter are clear to all of you. Read the chapter thoroughly and mark the internal questions. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care and have a nice day.